You know what's really fucked up about my whole situation? It's just like all the kings before me. I had a dream. I had a dream that my life would be so perfect. I figured I knew everything that I needed to know about life at one point in my life. And then my whole world just kept crashing down on me, piece by piece. I thought that all I had to do was be a certain person and live a certain way until I got the opportunity to live that dream I always wanted. And it was snatched from me. Every chance I had, like, even when one of my dreams was destroyed, I just figured I just have another one and another one and another one. Till now I'm just afraid to dream. Because every time I feel like when I dream and I go for something is always going to get in the way. Something I didn't calculate, something I didn't know would be a factor. And to be honest, there's always something that can't be factored in. Something that would destroy the dream itself. Like, I already had a rough life. It was horrible. Mother was on drugs. Father was never there. Watched my mother get assaulted, abused, mistreated. And I always said to myself, I would never do this to women. Only to have women do it to me. All I ever wanted was like, hey, man, I just wanted one wife with kids so I could raise them to be elites. Teach them everything I know because I knew my purpose in life. My purpose in life was to be the best person I could possibly be. And not knowing that females are contradictors of this if you mess with the wrong one. Because they may not see the dream that you see. Because they thinking about themselves. I wasn't thinking about myself when I had my dream. I was dreaming for me and whoever was in my life. And the sad part is people who are in my life knew of what value they would be to me and decreased it. That's all they could possibly do. Like, they only seen the value that I had for them. Not one female I ran into in my life was like, I want him to be great. I want him to be the best man he could possibly be. I want to make sure he attains these dreams I see he's trying to achieve. They didn't care about that. They only cared about what their friends thought about them or what they wanted to be, this bad bitch or this diva or whatever fantasy they had in their mind where the world literally revolved around them. There's no other explanation for it. Because when I said I didn't want to have any children, these women decided that that was the best thing for me. How could the best thing for me be something I don't want? That's misery. Misery is when you are living a life or you're in a situation you don't want to be in and you have to go through it. That's slavery of the mind, body, and soul. That is misery. So for people to try to come at me and say, Khalif, you shouldn't have did this, you shouldn't have did that, they're liars. Because in my dream, what I was doing wasn't a problem, because I knew how it could be a problem, and I was trying to avoid that. It was just that other people wasn't thinking that way. They was thinking what society fed them to believe, and it was fed to believe that, hey man, you could just make any decision you want, and then if it doesn't work out, go to the system. The very system that was built to keep us a part of it, to keep us down. They fed into these lies and became a part of my life. They're mad at me. Every female I've ever been with that had my child, they're mad at me in a way because they knew my potential. They just didn't understand why they didn't factor into being this person that they wanted me to be, which is a sucker. They failed to realize that like, I was never a sucker. I just wanted to be free. I didn't want to be held down by confinements of what society fed us to believe we should do. Because evidently what we should do in their eyes would basically destroy us. Like, to just go find a job and just work for society and let that be the dream for everybody. But everybody can't have the same dream. Everybody have a mind of their own, so that everybody should have their own dream. The flaws of religion and society are the same. It's the fact that they don't let people reach their own potential. Like, if a female wants to have a kid, a child by a man she barely knows, she should deal with the consequences of her actions. A man that didn't commit to her is a man that most likely may never commit to her. That's the reality. So without commitment, how could you expect this man to be in your life? Why would you expect him to do anything if his commitment was never founded? Some women believe that they should go against a man because of all the hearsay. I say hearsay because it's like fantasies people throw around, dreams and stuff like of their own that these females adopt. Oh, I want this, or I want that. I ain't want what everybody else wanted. I wanted to be different. Being different is being free. You can't say you're free if you have to do something. Being free is being free to do it whether you want to or not. You know, I'm stuck dealing with life as it is. I wanted to become, a helper. Like, I wanted to become a savior, a hero. With the powers that I had. And only thing the powers that I had gave me was kids. That's as far as I got. Kids and baby mothers. Because I am a good man. They know I am. I'm no Fabio. I'm no Casanova. I'm not somebody who spits game to any of my females. And you can ask my baby mothers, like, Was I a smooth talker? No. I mean, I was just somebody that was there at the time when, you know what I mean, they were open. And they just was like, oh, he's a nice person. He must be a sucker. So I know I could just take advantage of him. A lot of women wouldn't take a sucker because they know that they can do whatever they want with them. But the ones that don't take the suckers are the ones that need to be in the suckers' lives. At least those who come off as suckers, just so they can realize that maybe that man is not a sucker like they believe it is. It's just that they really would do anything for them. They really would do what they're supposed to do for them. Like, to know your man should not be a flaw. Like, oh, I already know what I could do with him. I already know this. I already know that. They shun away from things like that. That's crazy. And then they blame men for the way their lives turn out to be. When it was obvious that men are conscious and they know that, hey man, she only likes me because of the way I'm talking to her. Because that's all I did, was talk to her. Or she only likes me because I look good. Because that's all she talked about, is how good I look. Females be feeling the same thing, but fail to realize that men only want one thing. A lot of females think it's sex. No, it's not just sex. It's to be the man. And I wanted to be the man that I had envisioned in my mind. I didn't want all these baby mothers. I didn't want all this drama. I didn't want all these kids by these females who didn't have a conscience to realize the value of me. I wouldn't want nobody to take me for granted in my life. I wouldn't want nobody to sit up there and think that I belong to them because we have a child together. If I didn't, adhere to their demands, that I would have to suffer. Why would you want the father of your child to suffer and break? That man is a part of your child. Why are you mad at that man for not wanting to be a part of your life? Because you decided that you want to be sassy, or you want to be indifferent. Like, I'm not talking about everybody, but I just have this strange power to get the same result no matter where I go. Now, I admit, by the time I came from the Army in 2012, my dreams were gone. I was already a broken man. What I couldn't understand was, why would a woman have a child with one? I was being disrespected. I was being played. All because a female was hurt by somebody else. She thought that now it's time to get back at all men. I'm not against a female feeling like that, because it would be the man's fault for putting his heart at risk. I only damn these females on the strength that in some cases the only way to get to a man is through his child, and they would take that risk. That's the crazy part. Like, I always wanted to be in my daughter's life no matter what, because I seen and I heard what happened to these females who didn't have their father in their life. And when I see that out of frustration, pain, anger, and hate, a female would do whatever she can to destroy that man character in front of his children, just to make herself look better in comparison. It's enough to make a man give up. I'm supposed to go to my daughter's game yesterday. I kindly asked my baby mother, like, yo, let me know ahead of time, man, because, I'm not going to remember. I have a lot of things going on. And she called me. I missed her phone call. But when I finally called her back, and she told me, she answered that she hung up, and then she called me back just to tell me it wasn't that important. She said, I sent you the text. What she was calling me for wasn't important. That's what her exact words were, and that was in her exact text. And automatically, I already knew what type of person she was and what it could have possibly been due to the nature of this female. Is very evil. She brings up all of the negativity she possibly can and aim it towards me, because I'm not working the way she wants me to work. I'm not moving the way she wants me to move. But what she fails to realize is she's not a factor when it comes to how I move. My kids are. Together, that's the only purpose we have. That's the only relationship we could possibly have. Especially if we moved on from each other. The only thing we want to do is make sure that these kids know that even though things is not working out the way you think it should be, we can still make it work out for the best. We can still do what we can with what we got. These females are destroying every ounce and every fabric of that very thought with pettiness. Because I off the rip, I knew it must be my daughter's game. It must be her game. It's not important to her because she would expect me to disappoint my daughter, because that's what she wants from me. That's the type of man she wants me to be. Because if it wasn't, she wouldn't have given up on me, knowing that I would never have given up on myself for my daughters. I would be there regardless, no matter what. If I have to make a sacrifice, I would for my daughters, and I have shown her that since my daughter's been here. I got pictures with me doing my homework, watching my daughter while she goes out and work or do whatever she has to do, because I didn't want what I had to do to stop her from achieving any goals she had set for herself. I never made the child support or anything that I had going on financially affect her or my child when I was with her. I did what I was supposed to do. I sacrificed what I had to sacrifice. And for her to do that to me, this is like, I really don't want to care anymore. It's a waste of time. Because if you got to deal with bitches this fucking petty, like, I need a break. That's what they're not seeing. Like, I need a break. Who wants to continuously do this? To see the evil and conniving shit and be able to sit up there and go around her and your children with a smile on your face when you know you want to take her head off. Because as much as I love my daughters and as much as my daughters love me, why would you want to put us in a position where it looks like I'm either breaking their heart or they breaking mine? All because you're petty and mean and just evil. Like on a stick. Like, why would you do that? All because you're not getting your way. Like, I wanted to have kids with a female who didn't respect me. Like, who wants that? That's like you wanting to have a child with a man who didn't respect you. Like, make it make sense. But that's life. You know what I mean? You make these decisions, you live with it. But nobody lives with their decisions more than a man. Because these females, they make decisions for the man. Because I'd be damned if I would have said, yeah, keep the baby or anything. I'd have been like, no. That's why I always make sure my kids respect their mother. Because at the end of the day, I got to be honest with them. They wouldn't be here if it wasn't for their mother. Because if it was up to me, they wouldn't be here. Because I wouldn't have had no child by somebody who thought that I wasn't worth keeping, or I was worth cheating on, or I was the last pick, or I was like, or something that they just had to deal with, or you know what I mean? They ain't have nothing else at the time. Like, it was just real crazy. They knew the situation before the situation had got to the level it is, and still did the dumb shit. And try to make it seem like it's all my fault because I got penis. And that's what everybody say. So that's what everybody go by. Like, at the end of the day, I should have wore a condom. What does a condom have to do with you destroying the life of a child and a man out of spite? Nothing. That's just you being a bitch.